Hi, everyone. Welcome to another commentary. My name is Jimmy. I'm here with Joe. Joe, say hi to everybody.
Jimmy, my name's Joe. I'm here with Jimmy. Hi, everyone.
Perfect. I was thinking, why is he pausing at the very beginning of this? If you were hanging out with us today, we are prepping for Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom by doing a commentary for the very first Jurassic World here. And we're going to start it up. We're about halfway where you can see space and the Earth here for the Universal logo. So if you have a copy of Jurassic World, you're going to watch along with us, get to that point, and we are going to start it up. And then on the Achaia mark, Joe and I are both going to press play. Are you ready, Joe?
I'm ready, Jimmy.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, mark. Alright, we got that crazy bass sound. The planet coming into focus.
Here comes the U! The U's throwing... Oh my god!
Universal. For people who have been listening to us for a long time, we've talked about this movie a heck of a lot. And we actually saw it twice the first day together, or that Saturday. We saw it, and then Joe wanted to go see it again. And yeah, it's one of those movies that's kind of divisive, but also sold like freaking hotcakes, wouldn't you say, Joe?
Yeah, I mean, when it's so few and far in between, and they come out with a new one in this day and age, it's like, oh my gosh, yeah. Well, yeah. I don't know. That first time we saw it, I was kind of I kind of walked away just I don't know how I feel about it. So I had to see it again to kind of reaffirm or to confirm my emotions on the film. But at the end of the day, I thought it was okay. And then as I've watched it again and again, I'm like, man, I don't know.
We got problems with it. We watched Jurassic Park 3 that night too, and then we're like, man, this movie's pretty good. Jurassic Park 3. It's not the best, but it has its moments.
It's not the best, but it was still well done.
So here we're getting the introduction of the Indominus Rex and the fact that they made 2 of them, but the Indominus apparently is just a killer. It just loves to kill, Joe. It's a CGI monster.
Well done. It looks good.
Yeah, it does look pretty good.
It already looks kind of ravenous and crazy. I would have killed it right there.
Mm-hmm.
Just kidding.
Little subversion expectation with this crow. Now, Joe, how do you feel about this?
Hold on.
What?
I don't like the. I mean, we'll comment on that in a second. The worst CGI moment in the whole thing was that bird. No time spent at all.
That's so good.
Anybody catch that sound? My T-Rex roar? That's my ringtone for my text tone for my phones.
That's very funny.
What the hell am I saying? Yeah, for every text I get, I hear the OG Tyrannosaur roar.
Do you like this family, Joe? I think it's fine. I just don't really care about this backstory.
It is fine. I mean, they're cast alright, and I've seen the mother and other things, obviously, but their role is so minor in the whole thing. It's whatever. It's a lot.
They just tend to shoot back to it from time to time. These people aren't cold. Yeah, Joe, you're right about that fake snow. As people who hail from snowy places, we know.
Yeah, that snow is fake as all get out. But if in their shoes, I don't know if I could film. I'd be sweating my. I'm trying to figure out how to say this appropriately, but I'd be sweating my buns off.
There you go. This is kind of a bad. This parenting is weird. Just listen to what she says here.
Something chases you.
Yeah.
Run.
That's so mean. Don't tell your kid that and send him off on a plane.
Okay, so everybody knows by now what happens after this, right? So it's the second I get back from this traumatic experience, I kill my mother. Kill her.
You don't have to kill her. I mean, you say, "Mom, we almost died."
So we were chased. I ran. I almost died. You jinxed me. You're dead.
So here's another barrier for entry of this whole thing. It's pretty expensive probably to go here, right? But you have to fly, and then you take the boat out. I gotta imagine that. What do you think the daily pricing for Jurassic World is? Pretty expensive, right?
Yeah, well, I think a Disney World times 2 or 3.
Okay, so you're looking at like what, 250 to 400. Okay, yeah. Here starts the beginning of the older brother being a super creep and just staring at other girls, even though he has been shown to have a girlfriend that loves him, quote unquote.
It's just cute, but yeah, I guess hormones are raging.
Yeah, hormones be raging. There's the. I feel bad for this lady more than anybody else in this whole movie. Her treatment is pretty rough. Like, I mean, she's not the greatest person in the world, but still.
Oh, she's not too bad. I mean, if I'm that hormone enraged kid, I'd be like, yeah, screw Aunt Claire. Who's this?
They're reading. There's Ian Malcolm on the book behind her that she's reading. The assistant.
Yeah.
He'll
Why
be
bother?
back.
He's a hack.
He's a hack. So here's my other issue. I have probably plenty with this movie, but the fact that they kind of burn the use of this song coming up here on the reveal of the park and not the dinosaurs themselves, or just like the island. Because I remember that being kind of a big deal. I remember in the first movie they show the island and then it swells. It's really cool. I don't know. Just...
Yeah, I mean, I like the reveal of the park because that is more of the focus. You know, they finally got it up and running, and it's a big deal. It's like Disney World, you know, for dinosaurs. So I get it. It's supposed to be a big deal, but is that a swimming area?
There might be, Joe. There might be a swimming area.
There was.
There's like another amphitheater off to the left. Okay. I like kind of picking this apart, like looking at the different stuff now that I'm not like fully zeroed in on what they want to show you. You're like, oh, cool. There's certain things I'm looking at that they.
You know, sometimes the first time I see a movie, even in theaters, I'll kind of wonder and kind of look at things that you wouldn't expect to look at, like purposefully, just to see if I catch something interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I like her, Bryce Dallas Howard. I like the way they, how do you say, did her up for this movie. Like, she's very attractive, I'll say that.
Sure, she's very clean cut and everything. That's kind of her
exactly.
demeanor. That intro is kind of weird from the elevator because it's like a shot of her in it and then opening, and we presume that these people standing there waiting for her. It's like,
oh yeah. Yeah, but needless to say, maybe almost too perfect, but still, it's fitting, and it's cool.
Yeah, I feel like this movie would have benefited from an earlier part of it, like the intro, showing off some of Jurassic World and showing that the kids weren't interested, like showing the dinosaurs, but they were off screen, actually, showing the kids just kind of bored on their phones, and then they got to this point where they're saying, we really need to add more teeth. You know, we got to make it bigger and stronger and faster so that way people are excited. It's like, you know, dinosaurs should be enough, right?
I just... You know, depending on the age, some kids would overlook it like, oh, it's just a big lizard.
Yeah.
I feel like our generation more so would be like, entranced by it. Like, I'd stand by the Tyrannosaur paddock for an hour, you know?
Dude, I was standing by the beluga whales in Chicago for like 30 minutes. Like, the dinosaurs would just ruin my brain.
Yeah, think about it. People love going to the zoo to see exotic animals and whatnot. A place like this would never not do business. So... obviously, with the destination style of the trip you'd have to take and all that, you know, there's more money spent and all that. So they do have to have things like this, like the technology and the entertainment to kind of make it even more worthwhile. So
I know Disney has something like this where they kind of like a dinosaur fossil yard or boneyard. Do you think that somebody at the end of the night just goes and takes some sand and just throws it or dirt on top of the skulls and the bones and there's like, ugh,
yeah,
throw it on there.
Yeah. Yeah, at night Bob the maintenance guy goes in there and another day down. Oh look, they missed the Tyrannosaur skull over here. Newbies.
There's Mr. DNA, Joe.
Yeah.
She's kind of a bad aunt if she didn't, go to meet them, man.
I've said it once and I'll say it again. The most impressive part of this entire movie is her wearing those heels the entire time.
So it's funny that you mentioned that, because apparently, in these amazing facts that I just came up with, or actually researched, apparently, she said that she had to do, she had to train for running in heels as if she were in the Olympics.
Oh,
pretty crazy,
my gosh. That's ridiculous.
I don't get why he's so bummed out that he's not going to hang out with her, because he was just freaking out about all this other stuff, so it shouldn't really bother her. Or bother him, I should say.
Oh, the little kid? Yeah.
Yeah. I'd imagine keeping that whole thing, her outfit, I don't know if she's always wearing white all the time, but I would imagine that'd be tough to keep clean.
Dude, I'd dribble a bit of coffee down it. It'd be every day. Can't eat spaghetti. See, look, she's got a Starbucks tea. It's going to dribble down her front.
Nice little nod to the first, obviously.
Cares dead, Schmed.
I really love that line, because in the beginning they show you it's the Samsung creation center or whatever. I love that they just are like, yep, we needed money for this, and this is what we had to do. It's great.
I mean, the whole sponsorship thing, I don't consider it a big deal. I think it's cool, because in all reality, a park like this, it is a business, and in order to provide these animals, you have to make money, and to make money, you got to do things like that. I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
Well, Disney does it today. For example,
there you go.
They definitely do that. It's just that's how you had to do it, and how you have to do it with some of these things. It'd be kind of cool if she used that ability for precognition later on in the movie, but I don't think she ever does.
Oh, you ever wonder, what kind of training those people in that control room go through? That girl knew the dinosaur and all that. And...
Oh, yeah, that's cool. That's probably a good point. There's probably an excessive amount of training that they have to go for. If they had to do that specifically at this park, too.
Yeah. Oh, you know what else I like about her look is I'm always a sucker for that haircut. Where it's kind of
Oh, yeah? You like that?
Angular at the front, but higher in the back. Was that pixie or close to it?
I'm just not a huge fan of bangs, typically.
Yeah, but if anybody's going to make it work, it's her with that look. Otherwise, I agree.
The guest satisfaction's in the low 90s. That's incredible. I wonder what most parks would have. You know what I'm saying, Joe? There's always people out there who are just going to, complain about whatever you do. Low 90s seems really good.
FYI, it's always been my dream to pilot a helicopter. I think it'd be awesome.
See,
that'd be
it's perfect.
Sweet job.
I would be Bryce Dallas Howard if you were driving or flying a helicopter, Joe. It'd be me in the back just screaming. Be like, oh god, I want to die.
I'd shake it on purpose just to scare you.
Yep. How much money do you think she gets paid per year to run Jurassic World?
Her?
Yeah.
It's 6-figure for sure.
Yeah, gotta be, right?
I wouldn't call her a millionaire.
Wait, did you just say she's 6-figure? Oh, yeah, okay. I was like...
6-figure, but I wouldn't call her a millionaire.
Sure. A couple of years on the job, though. She could do that.
It wouldn't be enough to let her retire in a couple years, you know?
Quick thing, if you didn't spare any expense, maybe you put more cameras in your dino enclosures to make sure that they actually were still in there. Fun fact. Just saying.
Yeah, well, I still don't understand why Wu didn't disclose any of its abilities or research that before they, just nonchalant.
Yeah, he's gone mad with power and he turns kind of evil, I guess.
Yeah, like he wanted that to happen. I think I think
so
that
evil.
was even bad for him, though.
Yeah. Why would the pilot,
like that.
a helicopter pilot, is vomiting? Like, really?
Like I think they overdo it a little bit. It is funny, but it's like, how bad was that ride really? You know, it didn't look that bad to me.
Yeah.
So
also,
those are
I'm
all
not a huge fan
concrete tilt-up panels.
Yeah, look at the security guard they have here. They have the classic, overweight, doesn't care about his job guy. Do you think they'd really have that type of guy being security for one of these things and only one of them? Like, only one security person?
Oh. Well, low pay, no big deal. I think more than anything is, it's too stereotypical. So I agree with you, and at the same time, you think that they would train him a bit better in the safety protocol, never enter the enclosure regardless of anything.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. I just wish we had another Muldoon, and I know that kind of Owen is supposed to be like that in this movie, Chris Pratt's character, but I really wish we have another kind of, especially helps if they're British or Australian and they're just saying stuff like, oh my gosh, this is the most terrifying thing on the planet. I don't know why you guys made it. It's a monstrosity and we should kill it,
Yeah, but Muldoon brought a seriousness and intensity to the film that Pratt really only kind of touches on.
Exactly.
I mean,
that's why I wish
he tries, but it's still not the same.
Especially when you get that line, whatever they cooked up in that lab. It's like, what are you, from the South all of a sudden? The way you talk is very strange.
Well, and at the same time, I'm also wondering, how is he like a animal expert? He's from the Navy, right?
Yeah, I think so. He trained the dolphins, maybe? It's nice that they kind of tease the Indominus here without actually showing it, but it is pretty quick to get to your big main bad dinosaur. They move to it, but it's obviously the kind of the focal point of the film.
I think they should have hit it even more.
Yeah,
show
maybe.
the tail swinging behind a tree or something.
We'll talk about the design of it more later, but I wasn't really blown away by the design. I think it's fine.
Well, I didn't want it to be some crazy, insane looking thing. I wanted it to look like a dinosaur, but...
Yeah, well, just after the Spinosaurus, which we had in Jurassic Park 3, it's kind of hard to have a follow-up act that's as big and still looks different.
Yeah.
Okay, so they do have trees in this enclosure. Oh, Joe's favorite thing about this whole movie. Loves the trained raptors. Loves them.
Ugh. The way they introduced the raptors in the first movie, dude.
Yeah,
you just see bushes moving and sounds.
And just that movie, the beginning of that movie, is all the actors doing an incredible job of looking surprised and terrified, and I love it so much.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the CG's pretty good, but at the same time, I would have liked to have seen a real one.
Yeah. Also, why are they training them to do this? This is how I feed my golden retriever Lily. It's just like that. It's big chunks of meat. But where are they going? They're giving like high fives to each other.
The small enclosure, the small paddock leads out into a larger fenced-in enclosure.
Oh, maybe.
I think you get a little bit of a view of it later.
Okay. Vincent D'Onofrio.
Okay.
So good.
Yeah. Notice that right there when he says, "What do you need, buddy?" A lot of people consider buddy to be kind of like a dig. Like, it's almost inappropriate or too what's the word?
Insensitive?
Too casual.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, like when people call me buddy in a business setting, I'm like, okay, I am not a fan of you already, so...
Yeah, I think it's
I
a term of...
I get short with them.
Yeah. If they're not a friend of yours, it's a kind of like a dig of saying, like, we're inadequate or, like, I'm above you. Because usually that's what an adult would say to a young, like, kid. Like, hey, buddy, what's up?
Exactly. Yeah, I find it disrespectful.
Because, like, if I said it to you or you say it to me, I wouldn't take it like you're saying that to me. It's usually when you start calling me Champ or something, or Champ, and I'm like, okay, here we go.
Run into the enemy's teeth. You know, the enemy meets their teeth. I don't get it.
Mm-hmm. Also, I have a question. If you're sending these things into tunnels, let's just say any of these people that are going after, like the terrorists or whatnot, if these guys have a choke point with, like, I don't know, automatic rifles, these raptors aren't bulletproof, guys. Like, they'll just get gunned down, you know?
Yeah, I mean, they're not prone to bullets.
Do you think we'll ever see the in-gen, like, lead council or something? Or, like, see more buildings of their stuff? I don't know. Maybe it's better if they're more mysterious.
Oh, yeah.
I like Vincent D'Onofrio. I just don't really... You're not supposed to like him in this role, obviously. So I guess he does a good job. Also, how'd the pig get loose when he got shut behind that steel door?
It phased through like the Flash.
Or that door, I guess I saw it open a little bit there. I feel so bad that they took this kid from middle school and then they got him a job at Jurassic World. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at this guy. Oh, they would already be shooting these things, right? Come on, that's got to be safety protocol. Drop these things.
Why is it always electric?
What's electric?
Oh, never mind.
I just love hearing the size, Joe. Like, they would kill him. Like, they, you know.
I kind of feel like they made him a hair too big.
Maybe? I don't know.
Like, the scale seemed a little weird there from Pratt's point of view when they go to the camera behind him, over his shoulder.
Maybe. That was lucky. Also, why do they leave, like, those... Okay, would you really have an open enclosure like that where there would just be catwalks over the top that any person could jump into or throw things into at any time?
Well, I don't think this isn't part of the... it's not
it's not part of the experience. Yeah, but I mean, even for these workers...
Oh.
It just seems pretty dangerous, right?
Eh.
I just wonder if Jurassic World's up to code. Joe, that's all I'm trying to say. I don't know if it's up to code.
They have safety railings and all that.
I guess, but there's dinosaurs in there, man. You gotta have better safety precautions than that.
See that back corner farthest away from that camera shot a second ago? It opened up into some more enclosure, it looked like.
Now, Joe, you don't like this little dinosaur park. Isn't that correct?
It's freaking ridiculous.
I think it's not that bad. Look, it's kind of cute. You can hug the dinosaurs. They're not going to kill you.
No. Stupid.
That'd be so cool.
This isn't like, when you go to the aquarium and you can pet the back of a shark. A little...
It's like a petting zoo, like
shark.
with the goats, or like a cow, or like something like that. Have you ever been to one of those, Joe? Been to one of those?
Yeah, but you don't ride the cow. You don't ride on the back of the llama.
You ride on the back of the camels, though. You pet the goats. It's like that, right?
I don't know. Seems like a liability to me and a little too... just
don't take away my Triceratops riding fantasy, Joe. I need to do it. I gotta do it one of these days. They finally make these things.
I love this. How they're inside of a log. That's cool.
Yeah, see, that's smart. That's safer. I thought they always said the T-Rex didn't want to be fed. It wants to hunt. Just gave up over the past 20 years.
It's in captivity. It's going to do... it's used to it now, right?
Yeah. Why would you call or talk to your mom like that when you get to see a freaking Tyrannosaurus Rex right behind you? That's crazy.
Yeah.
See, this is one of the things I think is problematic with the film. It's like you have this sister dynamic, and then the sister's getting divorced, and it's like a whole thing. Ugh. You know what I mean? Just like, do you think they need this show in this movie?
I don't know. It's alright.
I just say to cut it out. Cut it out. You don't need it. He's like, we gotta keep making divorce papers. We gotta go. Which is an homage to the first film where John Hammond's daughter was getting a divorce. Look at that. She's pressuring her sister into having kids. Ugh.
Yeah.
It hasn't started yet, but soon the cracks will show. Starting with a man who definitely doesn't drink Coca-Cola, but drinks a Coca-Cola in the scene.
Triumph.
Isn't it fun, Joe, that they have a previous relationship and then he can catch flies or mosquitoes out of the air?
Oh, they went on one date?
So I think my issue with this cast is it doesn't feel as authentic as that first cast, where it just felt so natural with all of them. Like, with Grant and Sattler, you just felt that connection. They didn't have to have in this weird forced dialogue, you know?
Yeah, sure.
Yep, here we go. Where do you think the Jurassic World employees go to party? Do they go to that downtown little area thing?
Yeah, I assume there are restaurants, bars, pools.
Yeah, there's got to be something. There's a bunch of golf clubs against that tree.
Hitting balls into the river.
Sure. What a creep. Why do the guys have to be so creepy in this movie?
Why didn't she say it?
Well, Joe, it doesn't like to be classified like that. Indominus Rex is whatever it wants to be, right? No, I know what you mean. Yeah.
This is cool, except for I would be really pissed that I got soaked in a very humid, hot climate.
Do you think they have to go out and catch like a great white shark all the time?
Sorry, yeah, pause. What's wrong with this is how the hell do they get a great white shark, you know?
Exactly. This shot would have been so much cooler if we wouldn't have seen it in the trailer. They're like, yeah, we're soaked.
Yeah, no kidding. But at the same time, I'm like, I mean, that's wrong. Like, you just killed a great white shark to feed your mosasaurus? How many times a day do you do this?
Yeah, the show happens 8 times a day. The technology to move those things is not, like, impossible, but how crazy would that be? I mean, maybe a SeaWorld somewhere has that, but to move, like, a whole amphitheater up and down like that, that's pretty nuts.
Well, I mean, hydraulic rams, you could do it okay, but yeah, it'd be really expensive. I know what gym bleachers cost in a big gymnasium for a school, and those merely move back and forth and accordion in and out.
Yeah.
So those are pretty pricey. Not to mention, think of the acrylic that separates them from the water. That's got to be like feet thick.
That was like the writer's room when they came up with the name of Indominus Rex, and one of them laughed, and they're like, all right, we're putting that joke in. Did they replace the glass already?
I don't know how they could.
Nice little nod to the first film. Yeah, a lot of trust. They almost murdered you. So again, why is it hard? Like, they should know where this thing is. It shouldn't be difficult to locate this thing at any time. Okay, so no thermal signatures. I get it. That would freak you out. But if you look at the claw marks here, they do not go to the top of the wall.
Yeah, not to mention the size of this thing. I mean, the ability to climb over a vertical concrete wall and then make it down the other side without breaking itself.
Impossible. Or without being seen ever by anybody.
Oh yeah, they're like right there in view of the control room. You think that guy wouldn't notice a giant 50-foot long animal trying to get out?
Also, why does she have to drive away to call them? She could have called them from that room.
That's what I don't understand. That car is nice.
There's that God Creates Dinosaurs book.
Oh god, and why do you take the big guy with you who can't run?
Yeah, I just don't know. Why would you even open that door? Why would you even go in here?
It shouldn't be openable from the inside. And how'd that guy get in there?
He just jumped in because they don't have very good safety protocols. He's like, yep, this is concrete, all right. Here comes that line, Joe. Oh, yeah. I just don't know why. It's just such a weird, not great line. See, there should be protocols that they can't even open the doors at all, you know? Like,
I know.
Multiple protocols. And of course, it's all cutting out, and apparently it can emit an electrical field.
Oh my god.
And why did it wait so long to attack them? I will say they show restraint. They don't show it off right away here.
Yeah.
Like, you can hear the crunch on her phone even.
Oh, why does he open that door?
Yeah.
I would be thinking, okay, the man door back into the security office is the safest one to go into because it's small.
Yeah. Thank goodness this thing opens and closes very slowly.
Yeah, like ridiculously slow.
Also, that thing is so jacked to be able to move through concrete and steel like that. Like, it just threw open that concrete and steel door. Like...
Oh, God.
This poor guy. He was so fat, and now he dies.
I won't lie, if I was hiding from that thing, I would do the same thing that Pratt did. I would go under that crane because, in all reality, that thing's not going to flip a crane over.
Just flipped that truck like it was nothing, right?
But a crane has a lot of weight.
They're not even trying to, like... He didn't even try to make, like, a distraction noise somewhere else. I like the strategy of his, and I'm glad that it pays off. But at the same time, there should be... I think there are other workers around there, too. They must have all just scattered. Because there was a lot of people there beforehand.
My company has a crane just like that, by the way.
Oh, really? Do you guys make Jurassic Worlds?
We should. That'd be sweet.
That would be sweet.
Joe, why'd you take the giant door on the paddock out of the budget? Well, because I saw the movie Jurassic World. I know those things don't work out well.
Yep, don't even need one.
So no doors, just walls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, why would you have a giant door to get it in and out of there, presumably? Just seems weird. Also, I want to see a dinosaur in this movie, or any of these movies, that's a carnivore that eats so much and doesn't want to kill anymore. Like, I know that this one keeps killing, but it doesn't necessarily eat. I just want to see one that gets too fat and just, like, takes a nap.
Why are those two people hugging and consoling each other?
Because they were friends of one of those guys, maybe. I don't know.
Okay, reptiles are notoriously, like, lethargic. Like, slow bursts of action, but then they're lethargic afterward and in between. So why is the thing like... Things like moving faster in a car through the jungle.
Yeah. Probably wouldn't say that to the CEO of the company, right? These guys, you know, I respect all the tech they've got, but bunch of chumps. Seriously. They're going out with non-lethal thought in mind. I'm sorry, at this point, if it's taken out two of them, I don't want this animal to be killed either, but, like, if you were running this park, and this thing's going to come and try to kill a bunch of your guests, aren't you just blowing it up at this point? Like, are you trying to take it in?
Say you spent $30 million to create that dinosaur. You know, what's the park worth? Billions? Easily?
Yeah, for sure.
So, I don't know. It seems like a no-brainer to me.
Or you have better things in place to make sure you can take it back non-lethally. Like, you've got, like, the best trank darts in the world, or you put a moat around it in the first place, you know, or something.
Oh, yeah. I would have added some sort of secondary enclosure.
I was thinking about this, Joe. How do you think they get the raptors into those head cages?
Yeah, I don't know how you would be able to do that.
You, like, trick them in there with food, and then you're like, huh, gotcha again. They're like, dang it.
You know, they always joke about how smart they are. Eventually, they learn not to do it. Food or not.
That's the problem. This movie, like, when you watch movies like this, you shouldn't be asking a bunch of questions, but this movie just constantly introduces new questions. Because it's too advanced of a park.
Yeah, and they try and overwhelm you with the experience and the visuals, but it's like, if you actually look at it from a realistic standpoint, you're like, yeah, no.
I do like looking at the movie, though.
That hydraulic ram, like, I'm looking at that, like, why does it have a hydraulic line going to that bushing, and why is it going to that bracket for nothing, you know?
It's because there are hydraulic doors, Joe, and those hydraulic cage things that need all the fluid, and I don't know, man.
No. The prop guy's just like, I'll just put hoses going to everything, it'll make it look more legit. Okay, that's weird. They're like right in front of each other, or right next to each other, and he's just staring at her, point blank.
Yeah. He's talking to him. But he's a creep.
Oh yeah, he was talking to her.
I just don't like... This is such a downer in the middle of this movie. I get the whole, like, broken family thing is like a Jurassic Park staple, but it's just too much. Also, this is coming from Huh?
This whole experience, the goal is to bring those two closer together, and...
Sure.
Yeah, it's okay. There has to be... Are the kids necessary in the movie? Yeah, no. A little bit.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, a little bit. To get Pratt and Howard out in the wilderness to find them, and, you know, maybe a bigger goal.
I guess. Oh, this thing makes me so angry. The whole kayak scene with the dinosaurs like this. So dangerous.
Yeah, just like the petting zoo, only way worse.
Yeah, but at least the petting zoo, it's not as bad like that. If, like, a stegosaurus turned around too quickly, it just skewers your kids. Or whatever.
Yeah. You
know how you could overdo that, though, Joe, to get rid of the kids? If you take the kids out, make these two be dating and put him, instead of in charge of raptors, be in charge of that security group. They all die except for him, and she goes out there to save him. That's how you do it. Done. Figured it out. Also, I don't know why they didn't open with the helicopter.
I think it would have been cool if they would have actually taken it down or captured it.
Yeah, that would have been kind of cool.
Okay, 26 million. I was close.
Oh, 26. Okay, good. I thought for a second you said 6 trillion. I was like, wait, what? I might be new to this whole game, but don't you put the spear people up front? I don't know. I'm just saying. I feel like this is not a great formation. That's all I'm trying to say. Also, what are you going to tase this thing down? Not going to work.
Well, I don't understand why they have like one guy that has an actual ammunition gun, like standard ammunition.
No, I think they're all packing tranks.
Somebody later, I think, fires an actual gun.
Yeah, I think eventually
they should have had more with actual. Yeah, they should have more people with live round backup.
How does he know so much about this thing, even though it's so weird?
Yeah, it knew to take it out after it escaped.
Exactly. It's like you fell right into my trap.
I don't care if this
camouflage trap.
Even if it could camo, I feel like you would notice it. It's big enough that if it's there, it's there. Because we have depth perception.
Yeah. Also, why wouldn't they fire immediately? Fire now, fire now. I just don't know what they thought they were going to do with those little electric taser things. The cattle prods just... That was a great shot by that guy.
See? It's like maybe, a shotgun with slugs.
Sure. Myers
Good on
is gonna
that
make
guy.
it.
That was quite an effort.
Yeah, he did. He was going for that, employee of the month. I get where he's coming from.
Okay. Life insurance and all that, their insurance rates just jumped millions of dollars because, 8 people have already died. They've already, cut in. They're already taking a loss on this. So,
if only they
in a leadership role, I would have called for it dead already.
Just make sure that the next one you make has, dulled teeth and not really any claws.
We feed it a protein shake every morning.
Yeah.
Because it can't chew.
Like one of those big hamster water drips. It's a protein shake. Do you think at any time during the writing of this, Joe, that they thought about doing the storm again, like in the first Jurassic Park? They're like, hey, what if we did the storm thing again?
Yeah. Spinosaurus.
Oh, I saw that too, Joe. Dude, Spinosaurus is great. Spinosaurus on top of that cup.
You and I have researched it. They misrepresent the Spinosaurus in the Jurassic Park movies.
Like misrepresent how again?
Here's the problem with all these rides is that there's too much actual control.
Yeah, like any of these parks, like Disney or Universal, would never let you be able to do something like this in an environment without dinosaurs.
Yeah, too much freedom. You know, so these people go out. They just sent out a Phase 1 real world. Apparently, their Wi-Fi is slow, so that signal took forever to get there.
They just got the phone call right there. So, Joe, you gotta tell our listeners how the Spinosaurus was misrepresented in Jurassic Park 3.
Sorry, it actually wasn't primarily bipedal like they showed it. It was more of a quadruped and more crocodilian, a little lower to the ground. It was very big, long, but it wasn't as fast and aggressive as they showed off to be. But yeah, it was longer than like a T-Rex, and then the sail made it appear to be bigger. But for the sake of entertainment in the movie, the way they represented it in Jurassic Park 3 was pretty cool. You know, I would have liked to have seen it appear again, but you know, it makes a lot of people mad when you take the T-Rex and you have it get, you know, beat up and killed by another dinosaur.
He's like such a Dr. Frankenstein.
See, like, they didn't research it enough. He didn't even know that it could do that, you know?
Which he definitely probably would have.
No, see, he's surprised by it.
Yeah.
But he's surprised that the genes that they spliced in actually took that much of a effect.
Wouldn't Masrani have known about the Indominus at an earlier stage and known the problems that could have come with it before seeing it, like, today?
No, not really.
I guess he's like super
He's at
CEO.
a higher level. He's got other businesses, other things overseas, so that's why you delegate.
I love that line because it kind of does, you know, fixes a lot of the problems we've always had with some of the other animals.
Yeah, I love the canary to a cat metaphor, but you're right. They basically say here's why, you know, science these days is proving that they actually look different. Well, they're like, here's our reasoning for why they're a little different in these movies.
Exactly. Ugh. I don't really like this whole Jimmy Fallon bit.
I don't mind it. You know, if you're at Disney World, they'd have something like that, whatever.
They'd have something like this at Universal, which they do have a Jimmy Fallon thing at Universal. A few things.
There you go.
So you get to control this gyrosphere. Like, you're not on a track, so you could just ram into that Triceratops, you know?
Okay, there's no hinge or anything for the hamster ball entry point. So how does that... See a circle there? How does that actually open? They showed it in the beginning, but it's like, okay, now it doesn't make sense.
It pops off, and then they put it back on with the machine. I think that's what it put it back on there, maybe?
Sure. And being smooth like that, if it rained, you'd be getting stuck everywhere.
Would you?
Yeah, smooth surface and wet grass. Try to go up a little bit of a hill.
It's got a little bit of texture. It has just enough texture to move, right? Get over that coefficient of friction or
Keep trying to fill the holes that I'm punching in this movie.
Yeah.
Keep trying.
Oh, I won't for this thing. This whole bit is ridiculous, and the fact that they take this thing to go off the park like limit or whatever is just stupid.
Oh wait, the Triceratops just hit him. You see him get ping ponged around the field.
Just get murdered. Look at, she wants to maybe have kids, or maybe she's thinking about the kids. There you go. That a girl. Yep. Ooh, Joe, what you drinking tonight?
What do I always drink, Jimmy? Good old Canada Dry ginger ale.
With lemon.
With lemon this time.
Mm.
Okay, she calls you, she sounds frantic. What do you think she's calling about? What are you doing, you know?
I just don't like the whole predication of like, oh, technology's failing them on very specific moments in this film.
Yeah, like the cell reception here would probably be off the charts. Like, it's a resort. They want people to share it all on social media and everything.
For sure. And they have the Verizon wireless is going to present to Indominus Rex. Like, Verizon's putting a tower out there, right? You know?
Right.
So, Owen left, and then he was going to come back? I don't know.
No, I think he was trying to go to the lab.
Oh, sure.
So that thing had clawed and broken open that gate door?
Yep.
And it didn't do anything about the other dinosaurs there?
Those hadrosaurs are fighting in the background. That's kind of fun.
So it was in an enclosure, and how'd it get in there and then go out? Did it come in, then go back out again?
I think it's traveling from north to south.
Because that matters a lot.
He wants to know. He doesn't want to get confused, right? I don't care what this kid says. These will always be ankylosaurs to me.
Ankylosaur. Okay, I see it behind him. I never noticed before, but I could see it behind him earlier.
Yeah. It's true.
And if I saw that behind me, I would be freaking out.
I'd be moving. So wait, so this thing clawed this open, and either these ankylosauruses were out here, ankylosaurus were out here already, or they left through the gate, and this thing didn't kill them yet. I don't know.
Exactly. They came out behind it, and it realized it and turned around.
Well, those kids are, they're blended, man.
Ugh, what an idiot.
Yeah. It's a miracle that these kids stay alive.
Okay, but see, what if they would have been in the enclosure where they were supposed to be and that ankylosaur did that to them?
Exactly. No.
That's pretty unreal. Damn it, Claire!
This is kind of a nice marriage of that scene from The Lost World and the RV, and also from the first Jurassic Park when the kids are stuck in the Jeep.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you tried to escape me. But you couldn't
I don't care if you're concentrating on the phone. You would notice something that big just block the view in front of you.
For sure. Also, if it makes noise when it moves.
Come on.
This glass is not that good. It's not very good.
Why is it actual glass? Shouldn't it be acrylic?
They said it was something like it was like special. I don't know. What if it broke all of its teeth right here? Great.
It loses one, doesn't it?
I think so.
Oh! Cuts her head off.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking it was like either roll or... Here's my problem with movies like this, too. They cut away there, and somehow they got some sort of head start on this thing. You know, like 30, 40 yards. How? You know? How'd they do it?
Would you jump? I mean, obviously,
for
jump
sure.
in this scenario, but I mean, I'd hesitate.
Actually, I jumped off a waterfall, maybe about that height, maybe a little higher in Hawaii a long time ago.
Really?
Yeah, I did.
Wow, good on you.
Felt great, man. I loved it. I like how it's waiting. It's like, they haven't surfaced. Curses. Like, this thing is like, for its first day out, it knows a lot.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like it would have jumped too. I mean, that's quite a risk. Instinct would tell it no, right?
Yeah. I was thinking about just like trying to crawl out onto the mud like that for a shot, and how gross that would be.
Yeah. I'd turn around and try doing some fishing.
With what?
Dang it. I do like
Also,
Mercedes
nowadays,
G-Wagons.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I was waiting for it. Now, they'd probably put, especially Jurassic World, probably GPS like on your wristbands. I think Disney's got some of that kind of stuff, some of that technology, not to that extent necessarily, but
well, my watch has it, for crying out loud, and it's not that big.
Yeah, so they could do it, and people are always worried that they're like Disney's tracking you or whatever. But in this case, it'd be nice because you just say, "Oh, they're here," you know. The only animatronic, or I should say, kind of practical dinosaur in this whole movie, I think, is just this, which is really sad on multiple accounts.
Ugly too.
Yeah. I don't think this scene is necessary. Just seems kind of mean, really.
And how did it actually kill it? I mean, it had a bunch of claw marks in it. I'm sure it hurt, but I don't see like it got bit in the neck or anything.
Do you think the Apatosauruses are super duper intelligent and they just pretend to die so that way this thing leaves them alone? It's just like, lay down, go to sleep. It wants to be the Triceratops scene from Jurassic Park, Joe. It really does. It just isn't the same.
Oh, the movements are weird.
Yeah. It just seems unnecessary. Also, we're hearing that theme, that music play again. It just seems like at a weird time. Oh, his little rifle has always bugged me. Get that SPAS shotgun, man. These things are approaching you close range. Come on now. And it killed 5 of these things? 6 of these things at least? Like, yeah, right.
Yeah, I just don't buy it. Would ever lose interest?
I think it would lose interest, or like, I don't know. I don't know. I like the Jeep in the background, or the Humvee just driving through the water. Like, they were just driving right through it, just like, yeah, whatever. Man, all the communication devices in this movie just are breaking down.
Was a knife necessary?
Yeah, I was just thinking that. I was like, okay. Well. He needed it, so he looks cool, Joe. He's a... Oh, keep going. I just hit a button. We're good.
I'm sure they died about 30 feet that way. There's no way they jumped. They were eating.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that was very well done because, like, I immediately thought, like, an Indian Native American tracker.
And why is that well done? Because it's...
Fitting.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, S is fitting. So they make a remark, they say about the shoes and all that, yet she never gets rid of them. I'm not saying she's running around in her bare feet, but still.
At some point, I would have been like jeans and hiking boots or tennis shoes.
Yeah. Do you like their chemistry, Joe?
It's alright. It's fine. It makes sense.
Like, did she not notice the footprint? I don't know.
Unless you were really looking for it.
Well, it's huge, right? Did she... Okay, so she ate that security officer guy, and she spit up the helmet? Or she killed some other people? Probably. Okay. But I mean, she killed him, remember, back at the paddock? And now it's out in the woods?
No, there's another guy out there. See?
Oh.
There's another guy driving out there. You can hear the engine ticking from the heat.
Do you think that this Jurassic Park nod, it's like, obviously this whole movie is an homage basically to that first movie, but do you think this is too much? Like, I enjoyed as a big fan of Jurassic Park, and I think you'd be able to piece it together even if you hadn't seen it, but still, like, it feels a little weird, right?
A little bit. I mean, part of me thinks that you'd see a lot more infrastructure from the first part, being that they're here. Sure.
Or why they didn't just reutilize it to make the new park, Like, why wouldn't they just be like, oh, cool, we already have a base?
In all honesty, after, 20 years?
Yeah.
20, whatever.
25, no.
I mean, I know it would be overgrown and decrepit, but this almost seems to be a little much.
It's the tropics, baby.
I mean, those are substantial buildings. To have them look this bad, I really wonder. I guess I'm curious to know how bad it would really look.
Sure.
Like, this is the old dining room where they were eating ice cream and the Velociraptor was behind that image right there.
Hmm. It's nice to see this place again and have the music, but still, it's I don't know. It might be a little too much.
It is cool. I just And I refuse to believe that a concrete structure like this, like a lot of this looks like cast in place tilt up panels and stuff like that. So they're welded together with embed tabs, and regardless of time, that concrete's still strong and structurally sound. How is that freaking dinosaur busting through all this stuff?
It's the tropics, Joe. It makes concrete weak.
Yeah, you tried to fill that hole, Jimmy. It just can't patch that one.
I have to balance out all of your technical mumbo jumbo with your construction stuff. So I gotta. Side note: do you think the night vision goggles would even work anymore if the concrete walls are falling apart? That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah, there's no way they'd hold a charge that long.
Also, these kids fixed this Jeep coming up here, just like it's nothing. Some resourceful kids. Do you think they ever consider giving the Indominus Rex the ability to fly? I mean, she's got all these other superpowers, right?
Too heavy. Oh, this whole Velociraptor. Our Velociraptors can hunt and kill that creature. Yeah, whatever.
I feel like the better plan at this point would be to lure it to the Mosasaurus tank and just let it take its course from there, right?
Sorry, what was that?
Just lead the Indominus to the Mosasaurus tank and just have it just lure it down there, and then the Mosasaurus kills it. Just be done with it.
Right down Main Street of the entire park, yeah.
Try to make it look like it's part of a show.
Don't worry, everyone. It's a herbivore. It's a herbivore. It won't bite.
It's part of the parade, everybody. I still feel like there would be some sort of crazy militaristic security protocol for something like this, where they wouldn't have just one minigun on a helicopter. They would have a bunch of helicopters, and tons of people with tons of guns. They would not be messing around. It's sad because I think it's supposed to be kind of serious and not comical what happens to him while he's flying this helicopter. But every time I see this, all I can think is is this a joke? Is this supposed to be funny that he can't really fly a helicopter super well, but he's the CEO?
Yeah, it's just all ridiculous, period.
Now, Joe, when we started this up tonight, you were saying you're going to rip this thing apart. I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for you to dig into it and tell people why you hate it so much.
Dude, I have been. It's just impractical, period. Physics start to go away. The feel in there would be so degraded. No way.
Now, these were the Jeeps that were used apparently 20 years ago, too.
Really? That's cool.
Yeah. I think this was the one that Hammond was sitting in with the lawyer, and then the other one is the one that Grant and Sattler and Ian were all in. He's like, these tire tracks, you could tell that there used to be a Jeep here. Movie's constantly trying to make Owen sound like the voice of the audience.
Okay, he had a moment to grab it. Why didn't he grab it?
I don't know. Again, I just think at this point, even he should know that his one rifle is not going to do anything against this thing.
Well, if it's like an elephant gun, it's enough to penetrate bone, So if you get a good shot somewhere, Like, see the big cavity by its forehead or snout?
Yeah, but that's under optimal circumstances. You know. And why does he even have one of these rifles?
It's a pretty big
taking
target.
pot shots at the Raptors?
I don't know. He was in the Navy's guy's own gun collection, whatever. I mean, that's got some... You can see the rounds on the belt there.
Yeah.
Some big lead slugs.
I guess. I don't know. I just don't buy it. Joe.
You have to hit something vital.
Yeah, I guess. I'm taking like a hunting shotgun any day over this, though. Get that spread. Hit it in the eye.
Well, birdshot would be like shooting a bunch of BBs at it with a BB gun.
No, man. You get that spread, you hit it right in the eyeball. There you go. Because
So
this armor... Yeah, you blind it. Yeah, because I'm not going to be accurate enough in a bad situation to land that shot.
Yeah. A shotgun with a slug, you'd have to hit a soft spot again.
Again, that's right. You get it. I'm just saying, you get that spread, you get a couple BBs in that eye, you're good to go.
Verizon Wireless presents the blind Indominus Rex.
Yeah, man. Okay. These guys served in the armed forces, right? And this guy on the minigun... One of them
can fly.
The dude on the minigun just can't finish it up here. And it makes me real sad.
Yeah, and does he has horrible aim? Like, you gotta leave your
helicopter?
shot, buddy.
I don't know. Yeah. Tracer rounds are there for a reason.
I mean, dude, that would take that dinosaur down pretty quick.
Yeah.
I think he did hit it.
Maybe. So they have an aviary, right? I just don't know where they actually use like these flying creatures for another show or something, because I didn't see them anywhere else, because these are pteranodons and dimorphodons, and I mean, we're not seeing the pterosaurs. I think there's another place for them.
Like, why would they attack a helicopter? I don't freaking get it.
Didn't you see Jurassic Park 3, Joe? They're crazy murdering fiends. I will say Masrani, he did hold it together there for a while. I think this movie just goes a little too into the crazy action. Like, and Jurassic Park used to not be about that as much. Like, obviously they did have bombastic moments, but this type of stuff is
Jurassic Park was kind of slowly building up to each moment. Here it's just like, it's moment after moment after moment. It's just like a domino effect.
Would you say it's like an in-domino effect? Ah. But I get it's Jurassic World. It wants to make its own thing, and do its own stuff, but still. These pteranodons, man, they're not happy.
Good eye, kid.
Some reason right there when they're in the car, I got a Jumanji vibe. I don't know why. Just do.
Shit.
It's nice to have, like, a little shot of some people who aren't, like, big main players, who have probably the most boring job on the planet, to get to have a moment where they're like, oh, this is different.
Somewhere in the jungle, there's a Mercedes G-Wagon right for the taking.
Joe, we can go get it. We still have time. Joe, on a scale of 1 to love, how do you feel about four-wheelers?
Lame, bro. Too many wheels.
Oh my god. Get out of here. Four-wheelers are great. Better than any dirt bike, that's for sure.
And commentary over. It was nice, Jimmy.
Joe's like, this movie could use more dirt bikes. Alright, look out for Jimmy Buffett, Joe.
Where is he?
He's coming. There. Oh.
Jimmy, save your margaritas.
He's got to save him. There.
Where is he? It's not like a faraway shot, is it?
No, they already did it. I think it goes by really quickly. How self-indulgent, Jimmy. He's drinking margaritas at Margaritaville at this specific park. Look at him. He's living my dream, basically. I should say that. I feel like I keep forgetting his name, but the bad guy, the villain, he wants all this to happen. Like, he wants everybody to die, which is kind of weird. But you know what I'm saying, Joe? Like, it kind of seems like he's kind of reveling in the chaos. Like, he wants the Raptors, I guess, to come out.
His investment isn't in the park; it's in military, I guess. So whatever.
Yeah. I like I say over the intercoms, do not fire live ammunition. Because they're trying to keep these things alive.
Dude, one of these things comes at me, I'm gonna frickin'...
Oh yeah, defend yourself.
You know, one of those is pretty big, but I mean, those other ones, yeah, I'm gonna beat the shit out of it.
Might be hard. They're pretty tough.
Well, luckily, none of them could get me off the ground.
You'd be like that Triceratops.
See, like this.
Oh, this is...
yeah, right.
Yeah. This whole bit is too much. And apparently I heard behind the scenes they had to dunk her multiple times in and out of the water. Like, it was many times to get this shot right.
There's a human in there and a Pteranodon. Oh, man, that's horrible. Like, she did not deserve to go out that way.
Yeah. Like, would she die immediately, though? Like, would she be in the Mosasaurus? I don't know. Hard to even think about. Also, I like how there's, like, a pterosaur, like, IMAX experience that you could watch there. And a Jamba Juice.
Margaritaville.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Stand on top of that thing. Definitely won't get
So, little tidbit for you. This little creature that's attacking Pratt right now, that was actually a dwarf or a small person in a caption suit.
Part of me wants to see that version. You know what I'm saying?
It's out there. It's out there. You can see it.
Was the person biting at him too?
Just like, tussling.
And did Bryce Dallas Howard hit that person with the butt of a gun?
Yeah.
It's great. I think 1 out of every 75 showings or whatever back in the day of this, it would have been excellent if they would have shown the unedited version of that and shown like a little person jumping on Chris Pratt and people were like, what's happening?
Like in the midst of that chaos, some little person like lost a bet to Pratt last week and was pissed at him.
Yeah. I also have heard that kiss that they just had was actually unscripted and that I don't know if it was Trevorrow and Pratt that said they were going to do it, and they didn't tell Bryce Dallas Howard about it. So they just kind of randomly did it.
Seriously?
Which seems kind of weird.
Well, no, didn't she pull him?
No, I think he pulled her into it.
Oh, no, I want to rewind it. Ping. Sweet. I like how he's got like the bag mount on there for capturing the casings.
Oh, you're right. I didn't even think about that.
Don't leave any evidence you were there.
So was that Dimorphodon flying back to the island? Like it flew away and then flew back? Like it was flying the opposite direction. And it should be flying.
What, the helicopter? They were flying towards the island.
No, like the dinosaur, well, not dinosaur, the pterosaur was kind of flying backwards towards the island, so maybe it flew out and was like, oh man, it's too far to fly anywhere, so I'm turning around.
Sure. I like the sound effect trampling.
Yeah. I would imagine trying to get all these extras to do what you want them to would have been pretty tough.
It's chaos.
Alright, now we get into the ridiculousness of not only the Raptors working alongside this guy, but good old Owen going out on his motorcycle into the forest, even though I do think it does make for a cool shot, eventually.
That's about it. Stupid. Yeah, she looks at what she wants. She's in a freaking headlock, man. Of course she's looking straight ahead. You freaking idiot.
Also, he's snapping, but it's a camera, so it's not like she's looking that way. It's just that's how the camera is head mounted. Yeah.
Exactly.
Pretty dumb. I feel like whoever wrote the safety protocols feels just really bad. They're just like, nobody listened. This whole bit is so funny to me. Joe, would you ride alongside some velociraptors on a motorcycle like this? If you train them, even?
Absolutely not. Why would they have any other priority? The only distracting thing around them is you riding your motorcycle next to them. Of course, they're going to look at you like with curiosity.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I forgot. They love motorcycles. They've ran next to them a million times.
They've heard them every day. He drives them around in circles.
No.
So it's interesting. I was kind of reading a little bit behind the scenes about this, and so her name is Blue, but the other ones are Echo and Delta, even though she would probably be Bravo, and that means Owen would probably be Alpha then? It's like, kind of interesting, but I don't know. Then in Blue instead of Bravo, I guess is a cooler name and easier to market.
Well, in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, Blue becomes basically a German Shepherd that looks like a big lizard.
Well, think of it like wolves, Joe. It's just that they didn't take us thousands of years to domesticate raptors. It only took us thousands of minutes, and then they did it. So there you go.
Stupid.
If you could have a pet dinosaur, though, Joe, and it was completely domesticated, what kind would you have?
Indominus Rex, man. Nobody tussle with me.
Has to be one that isn't genetically modified to that extent. Don't you have a favorite like breed of dinosaur that you'd want as a pet? Huh?
No, because it's not realistic.
That's the point. It's a hypothetical question. It's supposed to be fun. Like this. Like a Triceratops would be cool because you wouldn't need to have like a car so much anymore. I mean, it'd take a while to get anywhere, but be pretty cool to make an entrance on.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that I would want a pet dinosaur, to be honest. Just to look at and feed it.
I'll be like a dog, you know.
A Utah raptor in the backyard.
Oh,
I'd name him Red.
be the color of my enemy's blood, red. I thought about that,
ridiculous.
having like a pet raptor like that walking around your house at night. How long that would take me to get used to. Or like woke you up because it wanted to go outside. Think about waking up to that face in the morning and it's kind of nuzzling you like, hey, let's go.
No. Nah.
That's a quick way to get rid of solicitors, though, Joe. Think about that. You just tell them you have a pet velociraptor or whatever, Utah raptor, and they're like, you don't. And then you just kind of, snap your fingers and then whew, comes out.
Okay, now this is like the thick wooded jungle. Logs, stumps, branches, brush. And apparently that raptor's looking over at all the others. And Chris Pratt's just riding his motorcycle through it at like 50 miles an hour.
Yep.
Impressive.
Very impressive. I do like seeing these guys running out in the forest. Like, this is cool to see them move, but you can still tell, even though the CG is really good, that they're still fake. And there's no way they would have done this with, like, a raptor costume, but still.
Hey, look, they're like literally almost brushing up to him.
Yeah. I just think they would have turned.
I like how he never stops shifting.
Yeah, man, he's got like 35 gears. The not so dense jungle. I think for some reason the bad guy really likes Jake Johnson's character a lot. Like, he's kind of always sneaking up next to him. It's a little weird.
The Raptors take no notice of all the people behind them.
Nope. And although they were going like 50 miles per hour, his buddy showed up on that four-wheeler going like that fast, and that's really fast on a four-wheeler, especially in the jungle like that. Like, yeah, not very nice. I'm not saying that's how fast they're running, but
I like how they all wait to shoot.
Yeah, just open fire immediately. Like, after all that's happened, too, like, there's no... It's not happening. What do you think the conversation was between these creatures, Joe?
Oh. I like how it like looks at him like, ugh.
Yeah, I just feel like the the loyalty of the Raptors is just whatever the plot needs. At any moment they could turn, their turncoats. I'm not gonna tell you how to do your job, Bazooka Guy, but if you would have shot a little while ago, I think this whole fight would be done.
And maybe try aiming.
Yeah. He's like, I don't really need to. It's a bazooka, hits everything. And see, even from a perfect vantage, Joe, his little gun didn't do anything.
Oh yeah, I don't think any of them hit it in a vital head opening.
Doesn't matter. There's no. It's got freaking the hide of a rhinoceros, apparently.
They kill rhinos, right?
Who does?
Poachers.
Oh, but does he have an elephant gun, though? That's the question.
Yeah, dude. Did you see those bullets? Those are some big slugs.
I don't know.
I've held an elephant gun before. I've also seen the rounds. They're not as blunt as the ones he's got, but...
It's got the hide of 2 or 3 rhinoceroses. Rhinoceri?
Yeah,
I'm just saying, have an LMG or something.
So, try smooth over those potholes.
You see, you're trying to smooth over the plot holes now. I'm just saying he just has a little cutesy gun. He needs a better gun. Also, why does Rocket Launcher Man decide to start sniping with that rocket launcher and blow up the Velociraptor there when he had a perfect shot on the other thing that was way bigger? It's so sad.
Yeah, right? He can snipe a little Velociraptor but can't shoot the big one.
It's just yeah.
So listen, I'm being pretty critical of this whole situation and the scenario, but if you look at it from an entertainment perspective, I get it.
Oh, for
but
sure.
I like a little more realism, and I like the methodology of the first movie more.
Yeah, definitely. Well, the thing is, that movie is much more of a suspense thriller, where this one is much more of an action film. So that's the problem. I think a lot of people... There's some other franchises that are like that, too. It's you look back at the original Mission Impossible, and that definitely has some crazy big moments, but a lot of that's more of a thriller, as opposed to...
how did that guy run back there so fast?
Because he's super fast.
Yeah, he is faster and fast. So now, do raptors kill for sport? You think that one ate him?
They do.
Okay, that's unreal. What would prompt an animal to attack a big vehicle like that? How do they even know that? How do they know there's a meal back there? They're not that smart.
Yeah. I think they're just attacking anything that moves, I think is the thing.
That one's not getting up. Sure, they got prods in the ambulance.
Fun little fact, Joe, about my youth is that I used to run around like this on the soccer fields to intimidate other soccer teams that we'd be playing against, like Velociraptor. Definitely worked.
I would suppose
it's very simple. What you got to do if you want to try it at home sometime, you bring your arms up, kind of, so you're kind of like a T-Rex, but they're kind of raptor-like, so they're kind of little arms. But then you run straight forward and put every foot just in a straight line, right in front of another, so you kind of get a bit of a wiggle in your step.
Oh,
also, if you want to make some noises, that'll help. Definitely make some noises.
Oh man.
I'll just say, Joe, if I ever make an action movie, they tell me to run like an action hero. That's the first one I'm doing. They'll be like, "What was that?" I'm like, "It's my Velociraptor run."
Yeah, no offense, but I'm sure there were some laughs at your expense, Jimmy.
Oh, who cares? I was having a ball. You gotta not care what other people think, Joe. You just gotta live your own life.
Chapter 11.
What's Chapter 11, Joe?
Yeah, it's finally for bankruptcy and paying out all your debts.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, there we go. I was like...
There's that Chapter 13. Chapter 11 might just be bankruptcy, no debts paid.
What do you think they told all the people on the island when they're trying to evacuate them? Like, some of these people are coming in injured, obviously, but like before even the Pteranodons and Dimorphodons got out, were they like, hey, we're gonna shut down the park early today, so everybody back on the boat. Don't worry about it.
Does he die in the end?
No. I don't think so.
Like, they never show him getting out of there. Next thing you know, the T-Rex is on top of the roof.
That's true. I don't know. See, all the dudes in these movies are creeps. Do you think he's going to have much of a presence in the next film, Dr. Wu? Like, do you think he's going to be showing up again as kind of a main villain?
I don't think he'll show up.
No? Yeah, see, I don't know.
He'll show up in the one after this one.
Oh, maybe.
And how did one of the raptors make it here so quick? Oh, I suppose.
I don't know.
How'd it get in so easily?
Oh, that John Hammond statue, by the way, back there.
Yeah.
Oh, I miss John Hammond. Oh, and I love that spine in the water tank. Like, they used to show that in the trailers and the promotional stuff. Like, it's a very good looking thing.
That's a cool chameleon.
Yeah. I wonder if they'll ever start putting more feathers like they did in Jurassic Park 3 on the raptors. I'm worried that going forward in this franchise that they're just going to get crazier and crazier with the hybrids. Like, that was my biggest fear.
Well, they are. We already know it. You know, they created an Indominus Rex just like he described. A fraction of the size, but still all the same attributes. So that's not blue, forward, that's the green one.
Yeah. Is it?
Shoot it, Pratt. Shoot it. Oh, he doesn't have his gun or what?
I just think there's still something cool to just the regular design of these creatures.
I like how it's like, alright, I bit his hand off and killed him. Now I'm going after you.
Yeah. Now, these raptors are all about the kill. See, you know, Joe, it's years of pent-up aggression of being enslaved to Chris Pratt. That's what's happening here. Always comes down to a standoff with the Raptors, man. For once, I want to see this a trio of Raptors do this attack pattern and then actually kill something. Because they keep showing it, and they just never, ever kill anybody. I feel like you're safest when you're in the circle of them. I don't know, Joe. I'd take one of these as a pet. That'd be great. If I knew it wasn't going to kill me, that is.
It'd still scare me. It's like having a pet crocodile.
Yeah, no. I guess. Just get it a saddle or something. See what I mean? The whole, like, they're going to turn back on this thing because the plot says so.
Be right back.
Oh, Joe's abandoning me. That's alright. Oh. See, I don't completely mind this whole, like, Raptors are going to attack this thing because he's been training them for a while. I don't think that's a problem as much. I mean, it is a little bit crazy, but... You know, this whole movie's a bit crazy. So it's fine. Look at he's shooting. Just doing nothing. I like that you do see him there for a second, kind of hiding behind the amber mosquito thing. That's fun.
Shooter!
Do you think that this plan would work the way it does? Like, I just feel like no matter how fast she runs, T-Rex is running up to 35 miles per hour, even if it is older, you know, maybe 30. But it's probably killing Bryce Dallas Howard, right? You know, moving up here. Yeah. I don't know.
Tight quarters, unfamiliar. It's not going to go in a full-out sprint right away.
Maybe not. The tight quarters unfamiliar was how it ran in the first movie, right? Hadn't been out of that cage.
Sure.
Joe, do you think we'll ever see a talking dinosaur?
No, and that's the day I quit acknowledging their existence.
I feel like in Jurassic Park 3, they'll have some way to communicate with them. It'll be wearing, like, a little headpiece that it'll type out in computer speak, you know?
Ugh. Like the Stephen Hawking dinosaur?
Yeah, exactly.
Very nice to meet you.
It will be my pleasure to kill you now. Like, it's the most polite, violent dinosaur I've ever seen.
I loved this moment in theaters.
It is good. I just wish it wasn't a completely CGI T-Rex.
It's alright. Like the red eyes and stuff in the pen. Oh, it's cool.
Thank goodness it was awake. Yeah, the design of it's just iconic, though.
Well, it probably heard all the commotion and was, like, closest to that area.
I still posit that the T-Rex is the hero of the Jurassic Park franchise.
Yeah. Spinosaurus, dead.
Ugh. I do like that they have a Spinosaurus skeleton in the park, though. And I didn't know if this was supposed to be like a, hey, screw you Spinosaurus thing, or it was just like they included it because it's cool. It's cool to see the T-Rex. It just looks so fake. I just really can't stand it. It really bothers me a lot.
Yeah.
Because, like, we've seen the real deal, you know, and that was 20 years ago.
Yep. The problem is
no
that the T-Rex is at a big disadvantage. I mean, it doesn't have arms to use.
That's true, but this thing's been shot all day, and it should be getting pretty tired, right?
Yeah, running around all day.
Imagine if you had to fight another person, Joe, but only with your face. Think about that for a second.
Exactly, man. Impossible.
Be hard to do. There's something about the eyes on the T-Rex when it kind of freaks out that looks a little weird to me. Like it's emoting a little too much or something. I don't know.
You redheaded bitch, you led me out here to die.
Yeah, exactly. The T-Rex is like, for 20 years I've been your pawn, and now you're just taking me out to slaughter. It's funny because in the trailers for that new movie, Pratt almost gets messed up by the T-Rex bite again.
Yeah. This is like they turned Jurassic World into like a Transformers movie, man.
Oh, I just think it's like a wrestling run-in where they're like, "Oh my God, it's John Cena!" That just Blues running in.
You can't see me. Yes, I can. No, you can't,
sir.
Okay, it's got like rebar in its shoulder. That T-Rex is dang near dead before.
Yeah. T-Rex is like, I got a second wind. Classic fake out. See, at this moment, though, I start to feel bad for Indominus because, like, you know that it's not the Indominus' fault. Like, why all this went down.
Yeah. People are the villains.
They always are. So many dinosaurs.
Now they have another big animal loose.
Yeah. Mosasaurus is on land, just slowly moving. I think the Mosasaurus is still penned in there, though. The problem is I don't know what it eats.
But the T-Rex and the Velociraptor are loose, so everybody run.
Oh, yeah. No, they're all friends.
They took care of one problem, and now they have two more.
They're like, yes, the humans, we will spare their lives. It is fine. I kind of wish the T-Rex could retire and just kind of like ride off into the sunset. It's just had a rough life.
Yeah, right? I've been the star attraction of the two most popular movies of the Jurassic franchise.
Yeah.
So
yep.
I'm going to go sit on my pile of money and eat stuff.
They're interviewing the T-Rex and they're just trying to like translate for it. It's
well,
like,
when they asked me to come back for the
20 years. Yeah. Exactly. Yep. We think the same thing. And I said there was no amount of money on the planet Earth that would get me back in. And they're like, how about this much? And then I was like, I'm in. It's like, yeah, sure.
I said there's nothing you can do to get me back on that island. Nothing. Next thing I know, I wake up and we're flying over the island.
Just like that poor Alan Grant. I mean, Sam Neill. We were in the same position. We're living our lives and they just pulled us back in. So
how'd
overall,
they get to the island? Like, I doubt that there would be like going to.
I think right now we're in a hangar in Costa Rica. I don't think we're still on the island.
Yeah, but right? I feel like there'd be such an overwhelming need for evacuation that incoming flights wouldn't even be a thing. They would be coming in empty to take people out.
Sure. Well, they said they were bringing in cruise ships earlier, so that's probably why they got them all off site. But overall, though, I think Jurassic World is a fine movie. I don't think it's super great. I don't remember what I scored it a while ago, if I did give it a score.
There are some jarring moments.
Yeah, what do you give it out of 10 nowadays?
I give it maybe a 7, and the 7, there's 2 points in there that are just because of the outright entertainment factor. The other 5 is just because anything with dinosaurs is awesome, especially when there's the budget behind it.
Yep.
The 3 missing points, that's basically because of all the plot holes and lack of physics, and science is kind of funky, impracticalities.
And nobody does dinosaurs like Jurassic Park and Jurassic World. No one attempts them. It's just like sci-fi movies.
Yeah, and you can tell that this stuff is tier 1.
Yeah. I'm with you, though. I give it like a 7 nowadays myself, after, a few years of kind of processing it. It's fine, but there are so many plot holes and there's so much stupidity going into it. It's just hard to enjoy the movie, seeing all these things that are just blatantly problematic, especially with the security. It's just so hilariously horrible. Like, just so bad. There we have it. Jurassic World. This movie made a crazy amount of money at the box office, and I am thinking that Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom will do the same. I really think so.
Yeah, I mean, okay. Now that we're at the end of the film and all, little comments to what we're looking forward to. Obviously, the next installment, Fallen Kingdom. I told Drew the other night, our buddy, I was like, I'm actually pretty excited for the next one. And you know what it is? Same reason I gave this film 5 outright points. Because I love seeing dinosaurs. I mean, is there any other reason to be excited about it?
Yep.
I'm also excited because it's going to be more suspenseful, and I don't want to say horror, but it's going to be more similar to the first movie. But yes. I can also tell, just based off of what we've seen thus far in media and whatnot, that it's going to be over the top, hybrid stuff. It's going to be in it's in like mainland somewhere, Europe. I don't know.
I think so, something like that.
And I don't know. It might be a little hokey. They're going to have Blue in there, the loyal German Shepherd canine unit. Get 'em, Blue. Sick 'em. Shut up. Shut up. I'm going to throw my hands up in the middle of the theater at that moment. That's like telling a crocodile, Jimmy. Like, you got a crocodile in a zoo. The handler goes in there to feed it a chicken. All right, Blue, jump up for the people now.
I used to watch Steve Irwin do it. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that Chris Pratt's any Steve Irwin.
Yeah, but at any moment, that freaking crocodile could have bit Steve Irwin's arm off. He was just lucky that it drags his belly on the ground.
It's a relationship. Yeah, I'll be there with you too. I'm cautiously optimistic about the next one. I feel like it's going to be a rehash of this one. That's my biggest fear.
Just different setting, different circumstance.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like that's going to be the biggest problem I have with it. But I'm just excited. Like Star Wars, like Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit stuff, I'm just happy we're actually getting anything from this, because Jurassic Park and Lost World and Jurassic Park 3, like that series right there, that trilogy, they've always resonated with me, especially that first Jurassic Park, which is easily one of my favorite films of all time. It's just a masterpiece, I think. And I'm just happy to see that this world is still being used and utilized, and it's not just collecting dust somewhere, because it's a great franchise, and regardless of all my little gripes, I will always go see these Jurassic World movies, because it captures slightly some of that nostalgia, even though this one kind of goes overboard. Like the first Jurassic Park kind of reminds you constantly that you're watching the movie Jurassic Park. This one's like, hey, it's Jurassic World, but here's Jurassic Park as well, and it's a lot. But yeah, I remember seeing it the first time with you, Joe, and thinking like, oh, it's the original park, and then that was kind of cool. But I'm just hopeful that they have some creativity for the future, because if they keep doing this hybrid thing, then it's going to be a problem. So
yeah, for sure. I mean, it's hard to go back though at this moment, to go back to the roots. We're already neck deep in this stuff, and to make it, hey, construction coordinator watching the credits, general foreman, good on you guys. You don't know how hydraulics work, but whatever.
That's not them. Maybe it's not on them.
All right, where's the prop guy? I'm looking for him. I'm going to tweet at him.
Just tweet at him. I found you.
Send him a video of how hydraulics work.
Yeah,
I'm horrible.
Joe, for people who watch this entire thing and listen to the whole thing, what hashtag should they tweet at us to let us know that they watched it? What should they tweet us?
Ooh, that's a good one. Should we do something like hashtag critical Jurassic?
Oh, I was thinking something kind of...
Hashtag... Yeah, hashtag sick... No, that's... People might get M screwed up.
Sure.
It's okay. We gotta take our time with this. This is important.
Yeah, that's true. This is very important. People need to know.
I like where you're going with that. I'm just trying to think of something that doesn't have slang in it, so it's very straightforward, easy to spell.
You could say sick them blue. Just sick them blue.
Sick them blue. Hashtag sick them blue.
Hashtag sick them blue. If you want to tweet that, you can tweet at GoCritical. It's capital G, capital C. Or you can tweet at me personally. I'm at JimmyGood013. Or you can tweet at Mr. Lever over at...
Lever_627. Lever just like beaver, only with an L.
Very good. Well, thanks everybody for joining us. I hope you had a good time. Joe, thank you for sitting down and doing this with me. I know it's been a while since we've recorded one of these, but it was just as fun as it has been in the past.
Yeah, I just saw Jurassic World for the probably like 8th or 9th time. That'll probably be the last for quite some time.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've probably seen it 4, maybe 5 times, maybe 6 now myself, and I typically watch it with you. I know maybe like last year, Joe, we were like, we should just watch this tonight, and then when we watch it together, especially when you ripped it apart that one night, which we kind of did here, it went by so fast. This is so quick. It's like, oh, here it's done.
Yeah, so. And I didn't go over the top with ripping it apart. Like, I still respected it as a film, but man, I just like realism in my films, and these days it's hard to come by. That JP1, man. They did it right.
Yeah, they did it so well. Oh, all that mystery and the respect for the actual dinosaurs. Oh, so good. All right, well.
Still an entertaining film and worth a watch, I still think, if you're looking to kill some time and you enjoy dinosaurs. So.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. Well, again, thanks, everybody. Thanks, Joe. And we will see you guys for the next commentary. Take care, guys. Bye.
Bye.